Hello there guys, welcome to another of my videos. So, I'm just going to be giving you the breaking news regarding Brandon Williams. Then I'm going to be giving you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference ahead of our game against Lask tomorrow night in the last 16 of the Europa League second leg at Old Trafford. So, the breaking news is regarding Brandon Williams. Brandon Williams has signed a 4-year contract at Manchester United that will keep him at the football club until 2024. There is also an option of a further year. Brandon Williams has made 33 appearances in the first team. Brandon Williams did make his senior debut in our EFL Cup game against Rochdale, and he made his first start in the Premier League against Brighton. But I think Brandon Williams has enjoyed a very, very good season for Manchester United. Obviously, he's got a big increase in his wages. I think now he's going to get around £40,000 a week. But Brandon Williams is only very, very young. So that's the breaking news regarding Brandon Williams. But, Brandon Williams has been at United for several years. He has been a United player since the age of 7. And obviously, he was getting a lot of starts towards the end of the season because obviously, Luke Shaw has been out with an ankle injury. And I think maybe, in the next year or two, Brandon Williams could become our first choice left back. So that's another player's contract, that we have extended. So that is the breaking news on Brandon Williams. Now let me give you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference. So Solskjaer did say at the start of the press conference that we are 4 games away from winning a trophy. And he said, the team have developed throughout the course of the season. And he said, this season we have progressed to 2 finals. Because obviously, we got to the Carabao Cup semi-final. And we also progressed to the FA Cup semi-final. Don't forget as well, we also got qualification for the Champions League. And obviously, we did finish 3rd. And Solskjaer is really happy with that because let's put into the equation, it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season at the football club. And the way we played earlier on in the season, he wouldn't have even thought we'd have finished in the top 10. Because earlier on in the season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. At that point, Solskjaer was close to getting sacked as Manchester United manager. So that's what he said at the first part of the press conference. Also, too, it was Lingard was obviously with him in the press conference. He was also asked, and so too Jesse Lingard was asked, how it felt, to score in that, 2-0 win against Leicester. Because obviously, that was Jesse Lingard's first goal for the football club since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first game in charge. And Jesse Lingard did admit, he hasn't had the best of seasons as a Manchester United player in that. And obviously, he does want to improve. Solskjaer's confirmed he will be starting the game tomorrow against Lask Linz. And I said he will get his opportunities in the Europa League. Obviously, like Solskjaer said, Jesse Lingard has been part of the club for several years. And like I've said before, reflects on his status at the football club and reflects on the number of years he's been here. He should really, be putting much more better performances out. But he has, actually, scored in like 3 of our finals as Jesse Lingard. Obviously, there's been a lot of narratives coming from the mainstream media saying he could possibly be one of the players that leaves Manchester United in this summer transfer window and that. So he was also asked about that. Solskjaer's also provided us with some news on Alex Tuanzebe. And he's also given us some news on Luke Shaw. Now, Solskjaer did confirm that Alex Tuanzebe had a niggle. And he had to have an operation on his foot. But he said that Alex Tuanzebe is not available. Obviously, he wasn't part of the 30-man squad. Obviously, so too Luke Shaw. I don't think he was either. Like I said, Luke Shaw has been out with an ankle injury. But he did say regarding Tuanzebe and Luke Shaw, they should be back for the start of the new season. And also too, Phil Jones is not available. So that's something else he also mentioned. But Solsjaker did say, us winning the Europa League, will be a step forward. The Europa League now is a priority for us because obviously, if we win the Europa League, it will be our first trophy under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. And it will be our first trophy in just over 3 years. Now, also during the press conference, he was asked about, transfers and that. And Solskjaer said that, Man United are in no rush to get transfer business done early. Obviously, he did say it's a long transfer window because obviously, the transfer window I think has been open now. Is it a week or nearly a week? Obviously, it is open I think until October. But he didn't really provide us with an update regarding the transfers. Obviously, he did. Jadon Sancho. Obviously, he's our number one priority target. Jadon Sancho is going to be our first signing in this summer transfer window. I think the deal has now been agreed with Jadon Sancho. We are going to get him in a deal worth around £108 million. Man United are going to pay around an initial £90 million. This reportedly is going to be paid in 3 instalments, and there's going to be like €20 million in add-ons. Obviously, it did recently say that we're going to pay around £63 million up front, then we're going to pay a further 27 and 18 million over the course of the next 2 summers. But we're not going to obviously pay it all in one go due to the coronavirus pandemic. Sancho has agreed a 5-year contract at Manchester United worth around £250,000 a week. And obviously, Jadon Sancho is going to be our most expensive signing and the most expensive British player in history. But I think Jadon Sancho to Manchester United is definitely the signing of the summer. Fabrizio Romano has already confirmed that personal terms have been agreed. So yeah, first signing this summer transfer window and our 6th signing overall under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era and our 5th permanent signing. Obviously, Jadon Sancho is going to be our next number 7. Because he'll do very, very well in number 7 because obviously, we've got number 7 vacant at the moment, but we have had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. But I'm delighted, that we are going to finally get him on the board. Obviously, Borussia Dortmund couldn't accept the fact that obviously, he does want to leave. Borussia Dortmund are now in the market, trying to get a replacement for Sancho. Obviously, they've been looking at Solsjaker from Werder Bremen. They've been looking at Memphis Depay from Lyon. Also too, there was looking at Jonathan Eacock from Lille. But so Borussia Dortmund, they're going to be losing another one of their good players, because they have let quite a few of their players go to the Premier League in recent years. Obviously, they let Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang go a few years ago. They let Christian Pulisic go. They let Ilkay Gundogan go. They let Mkhitaryan go. They let Shinji Kagawa go at one point. There's also players that they've let go who didn't go to the Premier League. But they have done some good recruitment in recent years. Obviously, Dortmund brought Jude Bellingham in the other week for around 20 odd million. Obviously, they brought Erling Haaland in January. There's other players that they've brought in recent years. They brought Julian Braun in, Thorgan Hazard and Emre Can. But I've got to say, Sancho has enjoyed 3 good years with Borussia Dortmund. He really, really has. Dortmund are going to make a huge profit on the player because Dortmund only paid £8 million in from Manchester City. But analyse his performances in the few years he's been with Dortmund, his valuation has persistently grown. The reason Sancho left Manchester City is because he did not get assured any first team opportunities, and Sancho has still got a contract with Dortmund till 2022. But I've outlined the reasons why I want him at Man United, well proven in the Premier League. He's also got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford. And he will dramatically improve us, and he is predominantly a right winner, is Sancho. Now, we're the only club that are in for him now anyway. Obviously, Borussia Dortmund have set the deadline for the sale of Sancho. Obviously, they've given us until the 10th of August to sign the player. I do believe we'd have signed Sancho by the 10th of August. There was obviously no stories coming out from the German press the other week saying that we allegedly had an £89 million bid turned down. But Solskjaer has been talking a lot about Sancho recently. But I think we are now close to coming to an agreement on a fee. I think it did say we are expected to sign Jadon Sancho on Friday. It may not be Friday, it may be, next week, because we maybe need to give Dortmund time, to look for a replacement, So, So we know now for sure that Sancho is coming to the football club. But I said, we'd get him because we've got qualification for the Champions League and that. So, yeah. Also, Solskjaer was asked about, getting a centre-half in, because me personally speaking, I think Manchester United do need a centre-half, despite the fact that we have got 7 centre-halves in the team. We're looking for someone to go alongside Harry Maguire in our back line. And actually, Solskjaer has denied that a centre-half is high on our agenda and that. So he hasn't really given us an update on, the transfers. Also, Solskjaer did say that he won't be resting key players. I actually thought he would have been resting key players and all of that. He did actually say that we won't go with a much different team to the 5-0 win against Lask back in March. So he's going to go with a similar team to as he did in the first game. This is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had said, and he did say he reverted to the first leg, and he actually said, Solskjaer, that it wasn't a 5-0 game, because I think we did score, was it 3 times in the space of 20 to 30 minutes, was it? Like Solskjaer was saying. Obviously, in the first leg it was goals from Odin Ighalo, Daniel James, Juan Mata, Greenwood and Andres Pereira and that. Obviously, we know that we're into the quarterfinals of the competition. Obviously, we have got either FC Copenhagen or Istanbul Başakşehir in the quarterfinals. If we do progress to the semi-finals of the Europa League, we have obviously got either Wolves, Sevilla, Roma or Olympiacos, but we are the favourites to win the Europa League. But Solskjaer is not taking any risks, even though we have got qualification for the Champions League. Also, Solskjaer did get asked about Chris Smalling, because obviously we do know that Chris Smalling has returned to Manchester United because his loan spell with Roma has ended, and obviously Roma failed to extend his loan. Now, Solskjaer did say that, reflecting on Chris Smalling's career, he is valuable. And he said he was in regular contact with Chris Smalling, whilst he was on loan with Roma. I'm disappointed, that we didn't get rid of him permanently. Obviously, Roma did pay around 2.7 million, to get Chris Smalling on loan last summer. And I thought he did very, very well on his loan spell, to be honest with you. I think we did say that we wanted around £18 million to let Chris Smalling go permanently. But Roma, were not willing to meet, this valuation and that. So Chris Smalling is now back at Manchester United. Obviously, he isn't part of the 30-man squad. He was also, dropped out of Roma's Europa League games. Smalling has still got a contract with Man United until 2022. He's been a long servant at the football club, as he enjoyed 9 or 10 years at Manchester United. We did get him from Fulham back in 2010 for just over, £12 million. So these are the stuff, Solskjaer had mentioned, during his press conference and that. But, like I said, the game tomorrow, I think it's a chance for us, to give the youngsters more opportunities. There was obviously, quite a few young players we had given full debuts to in the Europa League group stage. Obviously, we'd give Angel Gomez his full debut in the Europa League group stage. We'd given Ethan Laird, his full debut in the Europa League group stage, was it? We also give Tahith Chong his full debut. We also give Dylan Levitt his full debut. There was a few, young ones, we did give full debuts to. You know, obviously, Tiedemann Menge, he's been mentioned. He reportedly set to make his first team debut tomorrow. But I expected, Solskjaer, to make a lot of rotation, and I expected him, to rest quite a few key players, you know. But yeah, we are going to win this game tomorrow against Lask. But I want Manchester United to win the Europa League. I really, really do. Like I said, we are unbeaten in our last 14 Premier League games, which is very, very good. We haven't lost in the league since January. And that, defeat came to Burnley, by 2-0. And don't forget, we did go on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions until Chelsea beating us in the FA Cup semi-final. And to be honest with you, Solskjaer has made a lot of rotation throughout the course of the season. But that's reflected on the injuries that Man United have had. But like I said at the football club, Solskjaer's learned quite a lot. He's been here over a year and a half now. I have seen improvements under him. I think he does know his best 11. He also knows his best formation, because don't forget there was a period where Solskjaer went with the exact same team for 5 league games in a row. And that's the first time we've done that since February 1993. But I think throughout the course of the season, Solskjaer has promoted the youth very, very well. The young players have been given their chances. But I think, more or less, everybody's been given their chances in general to express themselves. They really, really have. They really, really have. Like I said, we've got a good record in the Europa League. We are unbeaten in our last 13 home games in the Europa League, and we are unbeaten in 9 matches against Austrian clubs. Don't forget, we did win the Europa League back in 2017 under the Jose Mourinho era. We did beat Ajax in the final by 2-0. Obviously, we know that next season does start on the 12th of September. And like I said, next season is a big test for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United, because next season is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's second full season at the football club. And Solskjaer knows next season that he will have bigger expectations to exceed. Our expectations next season will probably to challenge for the title. It will be to challenge for the title. Because, like I said, this has been the 7th season we've failed to mount any kind of title challenge up, and we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. Now, this summer transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. And I've got to say, I think we've done very, very good recruitment under Solskjaer, and I think our recruitment's improved under him, because we have been criticised for several years, reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been. We've been, criticised for overpaying for players. But he's brought some very good players in so far. He didn't recommend anyone in his first transfer window, but obviously, in his second transfer window, Solskjaer, brought, Daniel James in. He brought Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And obviously, in his third transfer window, he brought Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo in. And obviously, we're now on the verge of getting Jadon Sancho in this summer transfer window. So, when Jadon Sancho is official, I think that'll take our spending over £300 million under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era and that. Like I said, our transfer budget for the summer got revealed. It is £140 million. But obviously, the vast majority of that is going on Jadon Sancho. But put into the equation, we are going to sell players in this summer transfer window. So we are going to generate money there. Because quite frankly, there is still deadwood at the football club that Man United have got to get rid of. Obviously, we've got to get rid of... I think we've got to get rid of Lingard. Don't think he's good enough for the club. I think we've got to get rid of Andres Pereira, because quite frankly, Andres Pereira doesn't get in the team enough. He struggled to get in the team since Bruno Fernandes came in. Obviously, I think we should have got rid of Smalling, but obviously we know now, he's back at Man United and we're not going to get rid of him. Rojo, I'd like us to get rid of him on a permanent transfer. He's out on loan at Estudiantes. I want us to get rid of Phil Jones. I also want us to get rid of Diego Dalot, because obviously, Diego Dalot only made one start in the Premier League this season, and Diego Dalot had a few injuries early on in the season, and he is our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka. You know, we did get Diego Dalot in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window at the football club. Like I said, I think he did say last week that Solskjaer was going to decide on what players he's going to loan out, and I think Man United are going to loan quite a few players out. Obviously, you know, I've had some very, very good news regarding Alexis Sanchez. Obviously, you know, Fabrizio Romano and Damasio had brought the news saying that Man United and Inter Milan have agreed a transfer for Sanchez. Sanchez is going to be joining Inter Milan on a free, so that means Inter Milan won't be paying any fee, paying a fee for him. And Sanchez reportedly is going to be signing a 3-year contract with Inter Milan, and Inter Milan are going to be paying him like £125,000 a week after tax. I am surprised that, you know, Man United didn't demand a fee for him. At the first, it did say that Inter Milan were going to pay around 13.5 million to get Sanchez permanently, but I'm just glad, you know, to get rid of him permanently, because it has now freed up our wage bill. You know, throughout his loan with Inter Milan, you know, don't forget we were still paying the vast majority of his wages. You know, where we were still paying Sanchez 300 grand a week, and Inter Milan were paying like the other 100,000 a week. But his wages at Man United were 400 grand a week, potentially rising up to 500 grand a week based on the image rights and the bonuses. And Sanchez did still have a contract at Man United until 2022. There'd have been no point in Sanchez coming back anywhere, because obviously he wouldn't have got in the team. He'd have been there as a backup. You know, he'd have basically been a squad player, wouldn't he? You know, Alexis Sanchez, and, you know, he is now in his 30s. But Sanchez definitely did enjoy a difficult 18 months at Manchester United and that. You know, but we've got to get rid of players in this summer transfer window. We really, really have. And, you know, Solskjaer's just wait there a second. Solskjaer, you know, has also got a goalkeeping decision to make as well. Me personally speaking, you know, I think Dean Henderson should be number one for Man United next season. I really, really do. Because, you know, Dean Henderson has now got that experience behind him. You know, he's had 2 successful loans at Sheffield United, and I've got to say, you know, Dean Henderson has been Sheffield United's player of the season. He really, really has. And like I said to you before, you know, Dean Henderson has had quite a few loan spells. You know, Dean Henderson has got a contract with Man United until 2022. You know, and it did say from Sky Sports the other week that our contract talks with Dean Henderson had hit a crucial stage, and it did say his future will be more clearer in the next couple of weeks. I think it did say we're hoping to get Dean Henderson a 5-year contract at Man United, and it did say he could be one of the highest paid goalkeepers in Europe and that. But we'll save money, you know, if we put Dean Henderson as number one for next season instead of buying a goalkeeper. You know, David De Gea can't remain our number one for next season. I know David De Gea has been at the club for several years, and, you know, this has been David De Gea's 9th season at Man United, and he is approaching his 10th year at the football club. But I just think, you know, David De Gea has been a liability in the last couple of years, reflecting on the calamitous mistakes he has made. You know, De Gea has made 404 appearances for Man United in all competitions, and he's made 300 odd appearances in the Premier League and that. And Solskjaer was talking about De Gea the other week, saying that he has been the best goalkeeper in the world for the last 9 or 10 years or so, because he has won everything domestically at the football club, and he's also won individual awards, reflects on his good performances. We won't sell De Gea in this summer transfer window, but if we did, or we sold him in the next year or two, we'd still get more than 17 or 18 million that were paid for him from Atletico Madrid. So he's definitely, you know, got a goalkeeping decision to make. But big decisions have got to be made in this summer transfer window. They really, really have. And, you know, we've seen a hell of a lot of players leave, you know, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended in to the football club. We have seen a lot of players leave. But, yeah. And the good news is, you know, we have extended a lot of players' contracts as well since Solskjaer came in. We've still got quite a lot of players' contracts that are due to expire next year, and obviously, Solskjaer's got to make a decision on, those players. I thought throughout the course of the season as well, our record against the top 6 side, was very, very good, because we'd taken around, was it 18 or 19 points against the top 6 sides throughout the course of the season. What are you doing?
Just been shopping.
Have you?
I've got a trifle for after tea and some of them chocolate eclairs.
Right.
I've got some apples and oranges as well.
Shut me door, Dad. Throughout the course of the season and all of that. But I'm starting to believe now that Ollie is the right man, and he's making the right decisions and that. But I'm just delighted, that he proved his critics wrong, because I was very critical of Solskjaer earlier on in the season, and so too were a lot of Manchester United fans, weren't there? Let's be honest. And obviously at the time, there was a lot of Man United fans saying, we need to get Pochettino in to replace Solskjaer and that. But I said, there was no point sacking Solskjaer. Some managers do deserve time at the football club, And like I said, the vast majority of this team is not Solskjaer's. Solskjaer's inheriting players here from the Jose Mourinho era. There's still a few players here from the Van Gaal era. There's Mattery from the David Moyes era. There's still a few players here from the Ferguson era, but actually the vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho's and that. Like I said, in the last 7 years, Manchester United have been playing catch up. We spent a good £900 million on players, and we've recruited a good 32, 33 players in since Ferguson left. Moyes brought likes of Fellaini, Matterin. Van Gaal brought like 16 players into the club. He brought the likes of Schneiderlin in, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Ander Herrera, Falcao, Memphis Depay, Luke Shaw, Martial.
Don't come in the bathroom, I'm doing woodwork, glossing it.
Alright. Romero, Blind, he brought so many players into the club. Mourinho, he brought 11 players into Manchester United, didn't he? Obviously, he brought the likes of Sanchez in, Mkhitaryan, Romelu Lukaku, Ibrahimovic. Mourinho obviously, brought Pogba to the football club. He also brought Victor Lindelof in. He also brought Eric Bailly in. He also brought Lee Grant in. He also brought Delow in. He also brought Fred in. He brought Matic in. Mourinho brought a hell of a lot of players into the football club. And like I've said, so far we've brought 5 players in under Solskjaer and that. And, we've had different managers with different philosophies, obviously, in the last 7 years. But there haven't only been problems with the managers in the last, 7 years. There's obviously, been a lot of problems with, the club's ownership, the Glazers. There's been a lot of problems with the club's board. There's also been a lot of problems with Ed Woodward and that, But like I've said to you, we haven't dominated English football since the Alex Ferguson era. Like I said, Ferguson endured 20-odd years at Manchester United. Obviously enjoyed just over 20-odd years of success because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club. Obviously, in our history we won 45 trophies, but 38 of those trophies came under Sir Alex Ferguson, including 13 Premier League titles. We are the most successful team in Premier League history, like I said, because we have won 20 titles and all of that. So Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. But Solskjaer, did say that he wants to make around 3 signings in this summer transfer window. He's already identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. Ed Woodward, I think, did say when we have completed the signing of Sancho, he wants to make 3 more signings and that. But one thing Solskjaer did say, he will not tolerate any rotten apples in the squad. And that. But earlier on in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial career, obviously, he worked out his transfer strategy and he said he wanted to recruit young British talents to Manchester United. Obviously, when Sancho does come in, that will be 4 British players that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would have recommended in to the football club and that. But we've seen some signings already made in this summer transfer window, haven't we? Chelsea have done very, very good business so far. They got Ziyech back in February for 38 million. They got Werner from RB Leipzig for 48 million. Chelsea looking to get Havertz and Ben Chilwell. City have done good business so far. They got Ake from Bournemouth for 41 million. I think they're going to get Ferran Torres from Valencia for around 27 million pounds, and I think other teams, will look to recruit. The other players on our agenda, as you all know, Gabriel Magalhaes from Lille. You already know the news regarding him. Jack Grealish, Man United are still in for him. Still stories coming out regarding Kalidou Koulibaly. So I think we probably need to make another 2 or 3 signings, when Jadon Sancho to Man United is official. And I think, we can be up there for next season and that. But reflecting how long Solskjaer's been with us now, he has got that managerial experience behind him. He really, really has, because Man United is the 3rd club in his managerial career and all of that. So anyway guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.